Hi, welcome back to VK Online Education Training course. The theme of this lesson is synchronization. We mentioned earlier that the conditions for synchronization are based on variables. It will be synchronized according to the value of the variable. In the VK system, we have a total of 4 components that can be synchronized. The first one is toggle button. First, we create a toggle button on our page. Then, we click this button and move to the properties on the right. There is a choice of modes here. We switch the button mode to toggle button. Toggle buttons are usually used to represent a switch. For example, we have an electric light that will turn on the first time it is pressed, and it will turn off the second time it is pressed. It will turn on again when it is pressed for the third time. It will have a cycle like that. So, as we can see it here, we can put the instruction for the first action on toggle on tab. And, the instruction for the second action is put here. Next, we will use variables to synchronize this toggle button. First, we create a variable. We named the variable btn. Then, because we want to use this variable to express the state of the switch, we choose the variable to have an integer value. 0 integer value will represents the closed state, and 1 integer value will represents the open state. So, we set the range of this variable between 0 and 1. After we've finished setting up, we select this switch button. We move to the right. At this time, we will see there is a green button here called Set Sync Conditions. Click the button. Then, here you can select a variable to synchronize with this toggle button. We choose the variable btn we created just now. Next, we set its conditions. There is on or off state that we can choose. For example, we set it to on. I will set this variable to be equal to 1. Then, when the condition is met, the toggle button will show an on state. We can also do the opposite like this. We set it to the state when it meets the conditions to trigger the shutdown. For this, we can make the state of the button to change when this variable equal to 0. The state of the button will become off, which means that this condition is met when this variable is equal to this value. At the same time, the state of this toggle button will also be synchronized. So for this example, we'll use toggle on synchronization to variable 1. Click Save. And, this setting is completed. Next, let's look at its actual operation status. By default, this btn variable is equal to 0, so you will see that the button is now off. We can also check it first. Next, we will now change this btn variable. We now change it to 1. You will see this button will synchronize its state into an on state. After successful setting, you will see that the toggle button is now turned on. This is the synchronization application of the toggle button. This is all the content of this lesson. Thank you for watching. See you in the next lesson.